Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, this is Jeeps here, your old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge. And this week has kind of been a readjustment week. Didn't feel so well over the weekend. Recovering, all good though, feeling healthy, still a little bit growly. A little bit of a still hangover in the ears, if you would, so not listening to music and giving it my all right now. So I thought what I can do is maybe have a little bit of a conversation with you guys on the subject matter of the impact of music in marketing. Now I know that might not be something that probably 90% of you even consider. However, it is probably one of the most utilized tools in marketing ever. I'm talking about ever. And when I say that, because I specialized in that kind of music and that hundreds of tracks that I've written for libraries or custom compositions for commercials are usually based on a particular request to reach a particular audience. So hypothetically, if I'm a car company that wants to sell a big beefy truck, however, I want to talk to the extreme sports people or maybe the boomers, that is the target audience I want to try to get this message to, be it TV or radio. One of the very first discussions after the creative, which is in the sense of like, okay, well, what are we selling? What's the messaging and stuff? One of the first, I believe, in the meetings that I've been in, outside of psychographics, which is the looks of everything, unless it's radio, because that's all audio, is what music do we use to pull them in? And at first I was excited in the 90s when I was in this loop of how do we manufacture or create a piece of music behind a commercial in order to deliver not only the message in the way it needs to be delivered, but also be pulling in the people that they want to target to pull in. So the conversation might go a little something like this. Well, hey guys, let's go ahead and I want to hit the boomers, which I believe is just the year, my age, I guess, and down, and the 60s and 70-year-olds and stuff. So, and maybe some of the Gen Xers. So it's going to be very rugged. The truck's going to be flying around. There's going to be motocross in the background. This cut that's going to be driving through hills and all this sort of stuff, towing stuff. But I want to kind of get the retro vibe. So let's get some music that sounds like, and then they would spit out a bunch of bands. Now, obviously, 80s and 90s bands were not licensing out their music. More and more bands and artists are licensing out music now because of the issues with the music industry as a whole, or the record industry, and they're not making money. So now you're starting to hear really famous songs licensed out. However, they would hire a composer like me and say, hey, we need this to sound like, I don't know, what's a good, I don't know, Whole Lot of Love. We want this to sound a lot like A Whole Lot of Love. Well, okay, so what are you saying? He goes, can you knock one off? And I go, well, kind of sacrilege there, but how much? Okay, yeah, that'll buy me some wax for my surfboard for about a year. So anyhow, my job would be, instead of dun 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 dun, I might have to create something that goes dun 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 dun, something of that nature. But what I might focus on would be, the drum sound I'd be able to go for, the guitar sound I'd be able to try to, pull in. At first as a composer, I was just excited to be working, but the more and more I did this, the more and more I thought it was, damn, they're playing our soundtrack of life kind of against us to buy things. And it's not, I can't say it's a good or it's a bad thing, it's just part of that industry. And I think the only reason why I wanted to do this video and bring some awareness to it is that I want you to listen to the music behind any advertising. If you notice, music in the advertisement usually shoots to escort the messages. How about the pharmaceutical ones? All the pharmaceutical commercials are very light and fluffy music in the background. Because they want to let you know that it's okay to take their medication. Even though your kidney might fall out of your ass, it doesn't matter. Because someone's riding a bike and the B-roll is they're having fun. So let's play to the visual senses, and the audio senses is what? A very soft tone to the voice, male or female, spoken in a particular manner. And it's not aggressive because we're not trying to scare you that way. But you ought to ask your doctor if maybe this would work for you, because your doctor's so fucking stupid that he doesn't know that this is out there. So maybe if we can't get our people to sell it, maybe you can sell it for us and ask your doctor if this might work for you. You know, there's there's a whole thing behind trying to sell you. But a part of that is that music, because they want to subdue you. They want to bring you in this light, fluffy stuff. Or on the other hand, if it's hardcore, let's say the X Games, they're not going to be using little fluffy music. It's like, whatever it is, it might be hit at the time of shooting that spot, and whatever bands or sounds at the time, they'll either pull from a library or get somebody to custom write. So I just wanted to put that out there because, if you're here with me and we're listening to music together, shit, this shoulder thing just doesn't go away. And we're listening to music together, and you're hanging out with me because you're enjoying the layers, and you and I are going through a complete journey, especially you guys teaching me about all the genres. I feel like I'm starting to slowly get a little bit of an idea and understanding about what's going on in metal and rock and stuff. I figure that you folks also are in tune to the level that, if I ask you to listen to commercials and stuff and really try to take notice of how they use the music to try to kind of astroglide us into a purchase. I don't know why I just used that for a reference, but you know what I'm trying to say? I was to say Vaseline, but astroglide or whatever the case, in a reference or something, as a reference. But it's a very unique thing, and I just kind of wanted to bring that out there because it is part of that marketing thing, especially radio, right? There is no visual, so there's always music 99% of the time behind an advertisement. And then, of course, that music matches the radio station you're listening to. So if it's hip-hop, they're going to use hip-hop music. If it's metal, they're going to use metal. If it's classical, they're going to use classical. So I don't know if anything I said was ooh-ah to anybody. I just thought I just wanted to share that and put that out there. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out. If you're still here and you're still watching, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you for your support. I'm going to probably start again on Monday on the reactions. I'll feel better, and I'm going to put out something on my community tab soon about a poll. So next Monday I can go ahead and hit the ground running on the videos. And then check out my Patreon too. For those of you who still may have not maybe bought me a cup of coffee, you haven't considered it, you're thinking about it, maybe Patreon might be your best bet. And you can only be there for, even a month if you want to just hang out and just do 1 month, grab a bunch of content there and dig out. Anyhow, so that was my thoughts, and I'd like to hear from you if you have ever really noticed the music in commercials or not. And if you haven't, actually, that means the producers and the directors of the commercials have done their job, and that's a whole different video. All right, guys, take care of yourself. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Aloha.